if YouTube allows me to put asshole in the title, I'll call this Some Asshole at Disney. Bob Chapek acts like an asshole at Disney. Every time I come back to YouTube, I'm surprised that I'm still here. I'm just waiting for those. Every time I get an email from YouTube, I expect to open to say, your account has been permanently suspended for something or other. So enjoy it while it lasts, I guess. It's only a matter of time, I think, for a lot of channels, including the Fandom Menace and Comics Gate channels. It's all it takes is one joke about the wrong thing at the wrong time, and if somebody complains and the wrong person at YouTube sees it, well, next thing you know, it's like the channels who kind of have targets on their heads are EVS, probably number one, Yellow Flash, DNC or whatever he calls it, Tug. I would say those are the four big channels, and like it couldn't hurt to go over to Dlive and dual stream your live streams on YouTube and Dlive. You'll get a lot of people over on Dlive. It's a big growing platform, or something to take seriously. Anyway, so some idiot, this guy named Klein on Twitter calls for Trump supporters to be cleansed, and then Bob Chapek thanks China, that is harvesting human organs from prisoners. And he condemns the Capitol protest, people in the People's House. But he's oddly silent on the past 9 months of Antifa BLM burning down cities. And then he says that we're united as a nation under our shared values. The only shared values America has is the Constitution. Is that what Bob is referring to? Our love of liberty, free speech, guns, watering the tree with the blood of tyrants and patriots? Somehow I really doubt it. So 4 years of Biden. Biden isn't president. Big tech is president. The censorship is only going to get worse. But this time we've got alternatives. This time last year, if you said you had to get off YouTube for alt media, it wasn't quite ready. But now it is. It's definitely a viable platform. Bitchute and Dlive, Gab and Parler, you can make it happen, and Rumble and Odyssey and all these other sites. But I would say Parler, Gab, and Dlive and Bitchute, you can make it happen on that. Anyway, so Biden is not the most powerful man. The president never was. The people who control the money flow are the most powerful people. Kings don't exactly have the power. The money lenders who fund the kings do. But behind the bankers, big tech is pretty powerful, as they proved last night by banning Trump. Why hasn't Congress enforced Section 230, publishers and platforms? Why haven't they protected our free speech? How much is big tech paying them? Why don't we have term limits? Why don't we have salary caps? Why do they get taxpayer-funded health care and housing? Oh, by the way, F the GOP, Ted Cruz, ACAB, ACAF, and FTP. We need a new nationalist party that grabs the pitchforks and says, screw it, it's time. Who knows, maybe we will dress in black and march with Antifa and BLM. They aren't really the enemy, the government is. And the 1%, right, Antifa? We're going to go after the 1%. Oh, well, not exactly the 1%. We're going to go after like the 2% to the 7%. Okay, that seems a little bit odd. Anyway, so this idiot at Disney hates you. He replaced another idiot last year, Iger, who probably also hated you. It's fair to say that everyone at Disney hates you, even Mickey. They killed Disney and struggle snuggled its corpse. It's hard to admit when something is dead. A galaxy of stories has passed on. Marvel, DC, Disney, they died years ago. They're zombies stumbling around. An insult to everything light and pure. All the characters have been race swapped and turned LGBT. The stories aren't for you. As they so proudly tell you in interviews, it's not just Kelly Sue DeConnick. There's a bunch of people who've said almost exactly that. They are for cat ladies. Did you see Wonder Woman 1984? I watched it back to back so I could give a review on it. That's like 5 hours. That was a story written by an idiot, made for people who aren't allowed silverware. Did you see that Steve Martin movie? It's wonderful when millionaire actors who live in gated communities with armed guards lecture us on the need for cultural enrichment. And the first person who gets that reference who sends me an email, I don't know, I'll send you a comic book. Hey, Lily Allen, why don't you open your mansion to the migrants from Pakistan? Hey, Chris Evans, why don't you move to Mexico? Well, you'll have to dodge kidnappers. The exodus to Gab, Parler, Bitchute, and Dlive has been absolutely insane. I get more subs and views on Bitchute than YouTube, which doesn't make sense since it's like 1,000th of the size. If you search my name on Bitchute, you'll find videos like, 5,000 views, 3,000 views. That's weird. You had 150 subs at the time. How did you get this many views? Because it's an honest platform. It's YouTube is, you don't realize how much suppression goes on at YouTube until you leave YouTube and you learn, YouTube sucks. It's just got such a huge potential audience. But once you commit wrongthink, then it's just done. You're just done on YouTube. Riots are the language of the, what do you think your boy Zach froze at 106? He's just too hot a property for YouTube. Riots are the language of the unheard. Unless they're on the right, then screw them. They must be censored. And I did listen to a Zach video today for a few minutes. He said something about, Twitter's going to be censoring people. And I everyone loves Zach. I love Zach. I think he's a little short-sighted when his solution was, just get off Twitter. You don't need Twitter. Well, Zach, the way it works is these platforms are all talking together, all play golf together. They're, at least virtually. It's going to go to YouTube too, and you really have a target on your head. The SJWs really don't like you or EVS. You guys are number 1 and 2. They don't forget. They're like elephants. A lot of them some more than others. So that's what I'm saying is, like, if you guys are in CG or Phantom Menace, get on Dlive, do a Dlive super stream. Like, forget all your old petty bullshit. I mean, all of it. Whoever you've been fighting with in the past. War Campaign, Doug Tenaple, whoever. Talk to him behind the scenes, says, hey, guys, let's forget that bullshit. Let's get on Dlive, do a super stream, and just put all that behind us. All of it. Start fresh on Dlive. You guys will be more popular than you think, and you'll get. There are people on Dlive who are actually making money on it. Anyway, so the left wing used to be FTP and not File Transfer Protocol, but now they are helping the FBI track down the people at the people's house. Don't you guys have any principles at all? One thing I will say about BLM is that they don't believe in snitching. Antifa does, which makes Antifa the lowest of the low. Smarmy soy boys who will even stab their friends in the back if they can virtue signal. That's the weird thing about Antifa. They don't seem to have, I'm not going to say they don't seem to have friends. They have allies, and they don't trust each other. Because they know if they have to sell each other out to get a higher rung on the oppression ladder, they will. And honestly, I see them do this to each other. I feel bad for them. I just feel like saying, you don't have to be these people. You just don't have to live like this if you don't want to. With this kind of they're the kind of people who hold poison in their mouth and are expecting to spit it in someone else's face, and they just slowly sicken and die. If Comicsgate ever really blew up, the SJWs would worm their way in. Anywhere they see people having fun, they can't rest until they find a way to control it. You guys shouldn't have fun like that. It's istophobic. Here, let me take the fun stuff out of your activity, race swap everyone, make them trans, and you're no longer welcome in the very thing that you created. Okay, we'll just go off to another corner of the internet and repeat the cycle. SJWs are parasites, except they suck joy and inject rot and filth. And we need to, I'll say, trebuchet them humorously to Mars. Not serious threat of violence. I'm editing that on the fly. Yeah, human organ. It only gets worse now when you watch Mulan. Not only are you turning a blind eye to police brutality and racial injustice, you're also potentially complicit in the mass punishment of a certain group of people. Also, what is it? The Falun Gong. The Christians are underground too. So this is coming from Bob Chapek. Oh, this is Rick Klein, who said Trump will be an ex-president in 13 days. The fact is that getting rid of Trump is the easy part. Cleansing the movement he commands is going to be something else. Rick Klein talking about cleansing people. This is the message from CEO Bob Chapek. I thought riots were the voice of the unheard. What happened to that, man? Do you people even hear yourself? They are, we're dealing with sociopaths. You know that now. Like, I know some of you are normies, but not all of you. I was listening to I Love Comics stream tonight. They were doing it. They do these auction streams. And who's that guy? The fat guy who runs it. He can be quick-witted and very funny. He made some jokes I didn't think he would make tonight. But I won't say who, but another guy was mentioning things that led me to reasonably believe that they're not all normies. Like, people kind of know what's going on. So if you're a normie, it's time to take your head out of the sand. You can't be an ostrich forever. I don't know. Just as I said that, I realized I don't really know if they do that. Maybe they're looking for worms or something. Like, maybe that's just kind of a myth. They're just looking for food, which I guess would probably make more sense. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for all the new subs on Bitchute. That has been really kind of weird. It's weird to see people like Gab and Bitchute and Parler have just been, like, just blowing up. It's just, Twitter and YouTube. Well, YouTube is going to be next. Yes, it's going to happen. YouTube's going to happen. You're going to be like, you're going to find, oh, Yellow Flash got kicked off. Why? Because some SGWs on Twitter just don't like him. That's it. If you find, like, if you're, like, the guys who are selling their books, EVS and Zach are the two guys who are really selling their stuff. It wouldn't kill you to get on Dlive and Gab now. You can dual live stream on Dlive, and it won't take viewers away. It will bring in a new audience, and you guys will sell more product. It doesn't take but, half hour to set the thing up, and you're done. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you on Alt Tech.